Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you? Thank you so much for watching my video daily, and make sure that you also subscribe my YouTube channel over here and turn on the notification bell so you know the time I release the video. Every day there's new content and new subject we'll be talking about. Okay, today's video is going to be continued conversation from last week. Last week I dropped a video talk about top 3 tips how to make your New Year resolution come true. And we're getting a lot of people private message me asking about their situation. And I have found that a lot of the questions really targeted on the career path. So today we're going to be really specific, talk about career path. What do you need to do to move up to the next level in your career path? So let's get started. But first, check out Yibu Beauty. How to move up in your career path, or aka how to make extra money for income. And I went on research on YouTube just like all of you guys. I have found that a lot of time you type in how to make extra money, immediately you see a lot of people doing the side job that you can do to make extra $100 or $200. But what they don't really tell you is if you do a side job beside your full-time job, your quality of life is going to be decreased. I mean, come on, how can you be working 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and also work 20 hours a week on the side? Then what about your life? And I truly believe that that is not the solution. The solution should be, how can you make your current job better? And because you're already working 9 to 5, just pretend 9 to 5, okay? 5 days a week. So why can we make that better and make more money from that job? So this way, when you're off to work, you can enjoy your life. So if this is something that you're interested in to learn more, definitely stay tuned and watch. Don't walk away. I'm going to provide you some really amazing tips. And one thing that you can definitely trust me is because I work at a huge corporation, Procter & Gamble, for last 14 years. And I work my way up from work at the counter retail level all the way to the country trainer for this major company. So I know a little bit tip and trick I can share with you. So I do have a resume, and I can share that with you. So yeah. Okay, let's jump into today's subject. How are you gonna make your current job situation better, or make more money on your current job? 4 tips, just 4 easy tips. Well, it's not so easy, but 4 tips. If you can successfully deliver these 4 tips, you have a way better chance to be successful at your current job. So 4. Okay, number 1, you gotta love what you do. If every day you clock into work, you spend 80% of the time complaining about your job. I hate my job, I don't like my boss, I don't like my coworker, they don't treat me nicely, they overlook me. If you spend a lot of time talk about the negative at your jobs, and you don't find any pleasure besides you getting paid, then I can tell you, you're in the wrong job. You have to get out. But however, don't just walk away. You need to find another job before you get out. And the reason why is, if you are looking for a job but you are still currently employed, you are much more desirable, because the people who interview, they always ask you this: why do you want to leave? That's the number 1 question I ask you. However, if you quit your job, then they're going to ask you, why do you quit your job? So your response will be a little bit harder to present yourself as more desirable. So don't just walk. Get a job before you quit your job. But we're going to talk about that in the future video. If you want to know how to do all that, leave a comment below. I can do another video to talk about that. But today we want to focus how to make the current job better. Number 1, you gotta love your job. So say that you do love your job. You truly enjoy every moment at a company. Well, I shouldn't say every moment. Even for myself, there were about 30% of the time I was so irritated with my job. But majority of the time I really enjoy that, because for you to make more money, for you to move up to the next level, you got to love what you do. That is the number one crucial things, okay? Love what you do and do it better than anyone else's in your company. That is very important. And I wouldn't compare your coworker. You always compare you, because I found that it's almost impossible to say I do better than this person, because everyone have a different skill sets. But for the management, I will always look at your own personal growth. I look at what you did last year, how are you doing today. I wouldn't compare you to the store A to store B, because it's very, very different situations. There are times we do that in a very high level job, if you are the regional manager, and we'll look at your market, so that's different. But we're talking about just a smaller job right now. That's more relatable. So you gotta love your job and do it better than anyone else in your team. So that's number one. And then in that area, it's very, very important that you got to be humble. You don't want to come across that you're arrogant, you like to show off, and you definitely don't want to show people that you are doing better than them. That's the key thing. You need to play low key, but over deliver. That's the only way. Because if you are in this early stage that you do it well, you do it better than anyone else's, but you also like to show off, you're gonna get people backstab you. I can 100% guarantee you that they will backstab you. So you're not strong enough to protect yourself. So you have to play low key. So you're probably thinking, oh my God, what am I talking about? Well, for those of you working at retail or corporate America, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And forget about corporate America. Any job that has more than 10 employees, you know what I'm talking about. You're always going to get that one person start talking shit behind your back because you try to show off. And you may not think that's a big deal. It is a big deal, because all it takes is the right moment, the right time. Your regional manager heard somebody say something, and there goes your career. That's true. That's true. So make sure that you do it well, do it better than anyone else, and play low key, and don't come across arrogant. So that's number one. Okay, love your job. Truly love it. And number two, you need to know what are the opportunity in your company. You gotta have a very specific goal. So I'm gonna just use cosmetic, because that's my background. Okay, say that currently you are working at the counter, and there are 5 people working with you, plus 1 counter manager. And then your company structure, you gotta know the structure in the company too. If you don't, ask your boss. They will tell you. So for example, cosmetic standard, okay? Standard $1 million brand, they usually do something like this. You have people working the counter, you have a counter manager. Then above counter manager, you will have an account coordinator. And the next one will be account executive. Then you go to the regional account executive, and you etc. So you just need to figure out what is the two position above you. That's what you need to know. So you can plan. Okay, so go back to that. You are currently a beauty consultant working at the counter right now, and you know your next move. There's only 2 options. 2 options. You're either going to be the counter manager, or you are going to move to a bigger counter than the counter that you're working at. Again, I'm talking about just cosmetic industry. And if you listen very carefully, I think you're going to find this helpful. So 2 options for you. It's very important you got to know what's available, because if you don't know what is available for you to move up, how are you going to ask for promotions? Oh, trust me, I'm not laughing. In my past 16 years experience, I have so many people come to me. They want a raise, they want to move up, but they have no idea what's next level. So I'm thinking to myself, you're not even doing your homework, so I'm not going to help you, wasting my time. So you got to know all this information. So knowing what are the next level or next job career path for you. And typically a good business manager, a good department manager, there's a lot of bad one out there too. We can talk about next time. They usually will sit down with you every 3 months or every 6 months to do review and look at current career path and what's the next step. That's a very standard right now. And I think during that interview or review, you got to be very vocal. This is not a time to be shy, okay? If they ask you, where do you see yourself 3 years from today, 2 years from today? And you can be very humbly say something like this, I definitely want to grow with this company or this brand, and this is my passions, and I need your guidance and coach me and guide me to the next level, and I will do whatever I can to make myself even better. See, you make a very clear statement with your manager. Say, this is what I want. What you don't want to say is this, oh, I want your jobs. See, that comes across very arrogant, and I can tell you that 95% of the time they will just shut you off. And then you may say, well, why? I'm just being very honest. I want your job. Well, the thing is, if you work in a retail or corporate America, it is a people business. And most of the time, they are not going to promote somebody, are very vocal, and all they care about is themselves. Because if you are interviewed, your next job will be a counter manager, you're going to have 5 people working under you. You can't have that attitude. And usually there's a lot of things that management can help you, cultivate you, mold you to a certain style. But if you have a bad attitude, arrogant, that's something very, very hard to change that habit. And so I'm just telling you, play low-key, be humble. Yeah, it's very, very important. Okay, are you with me right now? I know this is kind of a long story here, but I'm hoping that you will get this. So first, let me quick recap. First, you gotta love your job. Number 2, you gotta know what are the availability, what are the career path for you in a company. And it's very rare you can jump to, meaning that, like I said earlier, in the cosmetic, you have a beauty consultant, counter manager, account coordinator. Very rare you can jump from beauty consultant all the way to coordinator, skip one line or skip one position. That happens sometimes, but very, very rare. So you really need to focus on the next level. And by focusing that, there's so many benefits gonna come with this. And this is where you're gonna make more money. You gotta trust me. So continue watch this video. Okay. So we talk about 2 tips, right? And the number 3 tips, this is very important. Well, all of them are important, but this is also very crucial. Make your boss become your good friend. I'm not talking about personal relationship. You don't have to do that. You want to make your manager or your boss feel like they can always count on you. So what am I talking about? This is the part that you got. This is the part I talked about earlier. Love your job. Do it better than anyone else's. A lot of people, it doesn't matter in what industry, okay, or what level, either hourly or salary job, you have this mentality that I'm only going to do my job based on what they pay me. Yeah, and I mean, nothing wrong with that. They pay you this much, they want you to do this job, and you should do this. But the smart one, they will just go extra mile. Even though they don't pay you to do more, you do a little bit more when your manager needs your help. They will always gonna remember you. They're always gonna remember you. So I'm going to talk about something very simple thing, okay? For example, if you're working at, I don't know the environment in a coffee shop. I never worked there, but I'm going to pretend I know, okay? Say that you're working at a coffee shop, there's you and the other 2 people working. And your manager says, hey, our bosses are coming here today. I know we're busy. Who can quickly clean the bathroom? I'm pretty sure most people say, no, I don't want to do that. You should be the one say, yeah, I can do that for you. But see, the way to deliver that is very important. You don't want to come off show off. You need to play a low key. Say, yeah, I can do it for you. I'm not that busy right now. See, versus, oh, let me do that for you. I'm really good at that. See that attitude, the tone of a voice. So you got to do the different way. If you do that on a regular basis, your manager gonna remember you more than the other people. It does not matter the other people how amazing they are. this manager always remember that, wow, if I need anything, I can always go to you because you always volunteer and you don't show off and you deliver your job fast and good. See, that's very important. Let me tell you why this is very important. You got to do something like this. A lot of time when there's an opening, right? You're not going to like what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you that right now. You got to trust me. A lot of time they already have somebody in mind to fill the positions, especially it's in-house, meaning that this coffee shop, say that this coffee shop manager, say that there's 4 people working in a coffee, 5 people working in a coffee shop, manager and 4 employee. The manager gonna get moved up to I don't know, district manager. So there's an opening here. So then, before this manager gonna get moved up, this manager will have a conversation. Well, the manager's manager, the current district manager, will have a conversation with your manager. Say, you know, we're about to move you, and what is your plan to fill your positions? They will talk about that. I know by law they're not allowed to verbally talk about that, but they talk about this, okay? Because they usually want to find someone very strong to replace this position. Or they're gonna move, and if they can't find anybody in the current store, they will transfer someone else to replace, to fill the position. So imagine that, if you are the one always volunteer and do the best you can, and when that conversation comes up, your manager gonna remember you first versus the other 2 people, and then half the battle is, you already won half the battles. But see today, if we have this conversation right now, say you're about to get promoted, who are you gonna replace? You have 4 people in your counter. Can we find somebody in your store first? It's easier to do this way. And then you have to say that there's 4 guys here. You have 1 guy absolutely lazy, so you won't even bother think about this person. You have the other guy do amazing job, but they count minutes, meaning that, oh, it's time for my break. I got 10 minutes. I'll be back. Or, oh, it's time for me to go home. Ciao. See, it doesn't matter how good you are, that attitude, it's not a management style. Or the other one will be you. Okay, you did good job, you know, there's still room to grow in certain area, but you're willing to learn and you show that you care and you always deliver with your best ability. That's you. And the last one, it's like you, okay, that person just like you, but they talk shit all the time behind people. So if you're a manager, who will you pick? Absolutely, we're gonna pick you because they see there's a potential. You can be the next management. A lot of time in the management to fill position, instead hire somebody can lead a counter immediately. They usually like to see somebody that who has strong skill sets but has a potential to mold them to where they want to be. So it's always better to show that you have potential than you are the best of the best of the best, because typically they are not going to hire you to do that job. And that's just a corporation and in most of business. So far, if I'm wrong about this, feel leave the comment below. I'm only sharing this with you based on my job experience. I mean, you can definitely trust me. I work in cosmetics for over 27 years. Last 16 years at Procter & Gamble, and 10 years before working at many different retailer stores, from Bloomingdale, Macy's, Nordstrom, May Company, what else? Oh yeah, those are the only one. And then I travel different stores, so I seen so many people, heard so many stories. So I know. And you may say, well, that's retail. It's your experience does not apply to my FedEx locations. Well, it may not be cosmetic, but it's the same thing. It's people business. If you're in the people business, it's always going to be the same. Okay, so we talked about 3 tips, right? Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, love your job, do it better than anyone else's out there. Number 2, you must know your career path, what's next level. And number 3, you need to have a really good relationship with your management team. So in here, I want to pause for 1 second. This is very important right here. Say that you are the one that over-deliver. You are the one always stay longer, offer help. But there's one person working with you and that person truly is your manager's best friend, or you discover this person is the best friend of the district manager and this person also want to move up, I'm going to tell you, your chance to move up is going to be harder. Very, very hard. I know you say, well, they can't just hire because they are friends. No, they can't, but they will find every excuse to not hire you. Trust me, that happened to me many times in my career, even at P&G. So that's another story. If you want to know, we can talk about that later, next time. So if you have people like that, you know, they're the best friend of somebody, a high-level management, and you know that person also want this job. However, if they don't want a job, then that's fine. But if they want the same job that you want, your chances are very low. And you can try first, see what happens. If you found that there's no way, then I'm going to tell you right now, get out. Find a different job. You know, but again, you need to find a job before you quit a job because you're more desirable. So, I mean, you just gotta trust me on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that happened to somebody somewhere while you're watching this video. Okay, so that's the 3 things, right? So what's the next thing? I think next thing is really the last thing, number 4 point. Remember I say that typically company will do review on 3, 6 months or 9 months or once a year review, and usually talk about your current job assessment, current job, and then where you want to go in the future. I think this is you got to be very clear with your manager. Say that I like to have this opportunity to grow in the company, and please guide me and help me to create a career path with your team, and what else I need to do to improve my skill sets. So this is number 4. Have a real conversation with your manager and share and talk about your career path. It's very important. If you don't talk about this, even though you may be doing all the 3 things already, but they have no idea you want to move up, and they may overlook you. Okay, so you definitely got to talk about the career path, and then you can say, I would like to. You should be proactive about this. Say that if they only review you once every 6 months, you can ask your manager, say, you know, is there any way I can touch base with you every 60 days instead every 6 months? Because I want to make sure that I am doing the right things, and I want to make sure that I grow and develop my skill. And I can tell you, most of the time your manager will be like, sure, you know. That shows the sign that you want to move up to the next level. So it's very important you do that. And remember the first one, you're going to love what you do and do it better than anyone else is out there. This is the part. Because from the day that you told your manager you want to move up, you have a career path, you want to review for 90, 60 days, and then usually they will give you a project, you need to deliver that, right? And this is the part that you got to love. And you know what, honestly, if you're in a commission environment, because that your goal is to move up, and they may even say, okay, we need you to increase your sale by 20%. And therefore, that's your extra income before you become the next level. Rather than get a different part-time job and drive Uber for 20 hours a week beside your current job, I think this is way better. You can enjoy your life and do what you love to do. Alright, this video is already very long now, so I'm going to stop right now. And let me know if this type of video helped you. And also leave a comment below, let me know any tidy challenge, or you know, you're lost in your career, or you don't know what I mean, I need content idea. You know, I can only think about so much, but I do know I can offer a lot. But I need you to tell me what is that do you want to see, and I can prepare some content and some recommendation for you guys and help you to grow too. Alright, I want to say thank you so much for watching my video today. I really appreciate everything, and don't forget to also check out all my social media, and of course Yibu Beauty. And guess what, we are only Yibu away to a beautiful life. Bye.